Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus holds bilateral talks with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Commitment to deepen the partnership between Bangladesh and Malaysia. Five memorandums of understanding signed between Bangladesh and Malaysia in a joint press briefing. Chief Advisor calls for keeping the door of Malaysia open for Bangladeshi workers. Tribunal gives an additional month to complete investigation of murder case of student Yamin in Sabah during July mass uprising. Next hearing on September 14. Price of palm oil reduced by 19 taka per litre, setting it at 150 taka. At the end of the current fiscal, country's economic growth to improve from 3.97% to 5.7%, hopes finance advisor. Building a technology-dependent yacht force necessary to secure own existence. Country's development may be hindered if the yacht delivered from the right path, says Tariq Rahman. Funeral of 5 journalists killed in the Israeli airstrike in Gaza held. More 89 Palestinians killed in Israeli attacks in Gaza in last 24 hours. And Bangladesh Sabahuni Limited lost by 2-0 to Kyrgyzstan's club FC Muras United in preliminary round of EAFC Challenge League. Assalamu alaikum. Welcoming you all. News at 10. This is Nazneen Khalik Zubair. You have just heard the headlines. Now move on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has expressed optimism that more Bangladeshis would get job opportunities in Putrajaya after a high-level meeting with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and the signing of 5 memorandums of understanding (MOUs) and 3 exchange of notes between the two countries. The press conference was held at the Prime Minister's office in Putrajaya. The Chief Advisor sought Malaysia's cooperation for resolving the Rohingya crisis and obtaining ASEAN membership. At the press conference, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim hoped that the excellent relations between the two countries would be helpful in improving the fate of the people of both countries.
Professor Mohammad Yunus, who is now Chief Advisor, during the transition years, he made remarkable progress in ensuring there's peace and security in the country, and now continuing that collaboration to enhance relations, both investment, trade, culture and education with Malaysia.
We wanted to thank Malaysia for hosting us so much, our people. And we hope this door will remain open and continue to become wider so that we can host many other young people to come and work in Malaysia. Strengthen our resolve in making sure that Bangladesh goes in the right direction. We are very happy. We restored order in the country. We restored the economy. We restored institutions to function within just about a year. So now we are ready for elections. So we will be holding our election in coming February, middle of February, to elect a new government so that we can go to normal running of the country. So there we need lots of support, and we are looking forward to Malaysia's support. Always we bank to them. And you have just mentioned about the Rohingyas. This is a big problem for us. We are seeking help from Malaysia, particularly as a chair of the ASEAN group of countries. So we need all the help we can get. And Malaysia is a good friend. We are looking for investment from Malaysia, and that's what we've been discussing. We are open for business. Bangladesh has a tremendous opportunity.
Earlier, Bangladesh and Malaysia signed 5 memorandums of understanding and exchanged 3 notes in different areas of cooperation. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim witnessed the signing of the MOUs and exchange of notes. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has urged Malaysian investors to invest in Bangladesh, saying that the interim government had taken a series of measures to make the country business-friendly. The Chief Advisor made the remarks while addressing a business forum on trade and investment opportunities between Bangladesh and Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur today. Referring to young Bangladeshis living abroad, the Chief Advisor said they always have the hunger to do something for Bangladesh.
I should have said a lot of creative young people in Bangladesh. That's the right description of these young people. Very creative. Even today, you see it in the remote villages, now that it's covered by coverage of the internet. Many earn money straight from countries like USA or in Europe by providing services to them. Inviting you to come to Bangladesh, we're inviting you of this excitement. What can be done? Young, creative young people. And also, the space is so much. You have not only Bangladesh you served all the neighborhood. So I welcome you to Bangladesh and share with us all the excitement that we go through.
Chaudhry Ashik Mahmud bin Harun, Executive Chairman of BIDA and BIZA, began the program with a presentation in which he described the competitive advantages Bangladesh offers for the investors and the efforts of interim governments to remove tariff and non-tariff barriers. Vivek Sood, Axiata Group CEO and Managing Director and the primary shareholder of cellular operator Robi, also gave a presentation on Axiata on 28 years of growth and partnership shared success in Bangladesh. Tengku Mohammad Tawfiq, President and Group CEO of Petroleum National Berhad, Amirul Faisal Wan Zahir, Managing Director of Sovereign Wealth Fund Khazana National, top officials of palm oil companies San Derby Plantations, Kuala Lumpur Kepang Berhad, IOI Corporation and Felder Global Ventures said Faisal Albar, Chairman of Proton Holding Berhad, and Lim Wee Che, Executive Chairman of Glove Manufacturer Top Globe Corporation, were among others present on the occasion. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has acknowledged the significant contributions of Bangladeshi expatriates in boosting the national economy through remittances, thanking them for helping the country. Bangladesh community in Malaysia this evening, Professor Yunus highlighted the interim government's efforts to enhance services for expatriates. He listened to their concerns and assured them that the issue raised would be addressed. Professor Yunus also discussed opportunities for expatriates to participate in the upcoming election, hinting at a new experience for them in the voting process.
প্রবাসী বাংলাদেশিরা যারা বিদেশে আছেন তাদের কন্ট্রিবিউশন অবদান আমাদের অর্থনীতির কি অবস্থা আপনাদের মনে আছে ব্যাংক খালি যত টাকা পয়সা আছে খালি করে নিয়ে গেছে দায় দেনার দায়িত্ব আমাদের উপর রেখে গেছে এটা কিভাবে শোধ করা হবে ফরেন এক্সচেঞ্জ রিজার্ভ তলানিতে পড়ে গেছে অর্থনীতি ঘুরে দাঁড়ালো এই এক বছরের মধ্যে অর্থনীতি ঘুরে দাঁড়ালো এই কারণে ওই প্রবাসীদের এই রেমিটেন্সের অর্থ দিয়ে বাংলাদেশ ঘুরে দাঁড়ালো আমি সকল প্রবাসীদের আজকে যারা এখানে উপস্থিত আছেন তারা এবং যারা উপস্থিত নাই তাদেরকেও একসঙ্গে আমরা তাদের দিই ধন্যবাদ জানাই জাতির পক্ষ থেকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই এটা না হলে জাতি সোজা হয়ে দাঁড়াবার কোনো উপায় ছিল না এই টাকা দিয়ে আজকে আমরা মজবুত অর্থনীতিতে দাঁড়াতে পেরেছি এটা মস্ত বড় একটা অবদান মালয়েশিয়ার প্রধানমন্ত্রী আমাদের প্রতি সহানুভূতিশীল যাতে আমরা এগিয়ে যেতে পারি কোনো বাধাবন্ধক ছাড়া তার কাছে আমরা বিনিয়োগের কথা বলেছি ব্যাপকভাবে মালয়েশিয়ান বিনিয়োগ বাংলাদেশে হোক মালয়েশিয়ার থেকে বড় রকম বিনিয়োগ আশ্বাস আমরা পেয়েছি সেখানে আমরা যাতে করে এই বিনিয়োগের ধারা অব্যাহত রাখতে পারি তারাও চেয়েছে আমাদের সঙ্গে কাজ করার জন্য কাজে মালয়েশিয়া একটা এখন জটিল একটা পরিস্থিতির মধ্যে ছিল আমরা যখন এসেছি এই জটিলতা থেকে আমরা মুক্ত করছি যাতে সবাই যে সহজভাবে এখানে ঢুকতে পারে, এখানে কাজকর্ম করতে পারে।
Law and Expatriates Welfare and Overseas Employment Advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul, Foreign Affairs Advisor Mohammad Tauhid Hossain also spoke at the event. Bangladesh High Commissioner to Malaysia Shamim Asam conducted the session. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim held bilateral talks at Malaysia's administrative capital Putrajaya and discussed ways to strengthen the relationship in diverse areas of mutual benefit. During the official talks, the two leaders reviewed the progress in diverse areas and outlined steps towards elevating the relations between Dhaka and Kuala Lumpur to a new height. They reviewed the progress of Bangladesh-Malaysia relations, particularly in the areas of trade and investment, labor, education and tourism. The discussions also included regional and international developments of mutual interest, including the repatriation of the Rohingyas. Earlier, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim welcomed Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus as he arrived in Malaysia's administrative capital Putrajaya. Professor Yunus was accorded an official welcome ceremony at Perdana Putra complex where Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim received the Chief Advisor as the red carpet was rolled out. He inspected the guard of honor as the national anthems of both countries were played. Professor Yunus then was introduced to the Malaysian delegation and he presented the Bangladeshi delegation to the Prime Minister before signing the guest book. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has urged leading Malaysian telecom firm Expatriate to roll out 5G services in Bangladesh and invest in the country's data center. He made the call when Sharil Rizza Rizwan, Chairman and Independent Non-Executive Director of Expatriate Group Malaysia, called him at his hotel in Kuala Lumpur today. Professor Yunus stressed that Bangladesh needs high-speed internet for its growing economy and to attract investment from global companies eager to tap into its digital economy. Vivek Sood, Group CEO of Expatriate Berhad parent company of cellular operator Robi, said the company had conducted a 5G trial in Bangladesh but noted that the expansion of the country's fiber optic network is essential for full 5G deployment. Meanwhile, Managing Director of Sovereign Wealth Fund Khazanah National Berhad Amirul Faisal Wan Zahir and leader of Malaysia's halal industry called on Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus at his hotel in Kuala Lumpur today. The International Crimes Tribunal has granted the prosecution an additional 1 month to complete the investigation into the murder case of student Yamin, who was killed after being thrown from a police armored vehicle APC in Sabah during the July mass movement. The next hearing in the case has been scheduled for September 14. The three-member tribunal, headed by Justice Ghulam Murtaza Muzumdar, Chairman of International Crimes Tribunal 1, set the new date today. In addition, the tribunal granted 3 more months to complete the investigation against 9 accused, including Sheikh Hasina, in the genocide case over the Hefazat-e-Islam rally at Shapla Chottor in the capital on May 5, 2013. The next hearing in that case will be held on November 12. Later, Prosecutor Mizanul Islam of the International Crimes Tribunal briefed journalists about the matter. Meanwhile, the second day of witness testimony has begun in the Crimes Against Humanity case over the killing of 6 people, including student Anas, in Chankarpur, Dhaka during the July-August movement. The accused in the case, former Shahbag Police Station Inspector Arshad Hussain, former Constable Shujaun Hussain, Imad Hussain and Nasrul Islam have been produced before the tribunal. 4 other accused in the case, including former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman, are still absconding. Earlier this morning, under tight security, the accused arrested in 3 separate cases were brought from prison to the International Crimes Tribunal. The interim government has extended the term of the National Consensus Commission by 1 month. The Cabinet Division issued a Gazette notification on Monday extending the term until September 15. The interim government formed the National Consensus Commission on the 12th of February this year to consider the recommendations of 6 reform commissions and to hold discussions with political parties and forces for building national consensus. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus was appointed chairperson of the commission and Professor Ali Riaz, head of the Constitutional Reform Commission, was made vice chairman. Other members of the commission are Ayub Mia, head of the Public Administration Reform Commission, Safaraz Hussain, head of the Police Reform Commission, Bodiul Alam Muzumdar, head of the Electoral System Reform Commission, Justice Imadul Haq, head of the Judicial Reform Commission, and Iftikharuz Zaman, head of the Anti-Corruption Commission Reform Commission. The commission, which began work on 15th of February, was initially given a 6-month term. So far, in the first phase of dialogue, consensus has been reached on 62 of the 166 proposals and in the second phase on 20 key constitutional issues. The price of palm oil has been reduced by 19 taka per litre to 150 taka. Commerce Secretary Mahbubur Rahman revealed the information today while talking to reporters at the Secretariat after a meeting on setting this fiscal year's export target. On the occasion, he said, the government has set an export earnings target of $63.50 billion for the current fiscal year. Referring to the last fiscal year's export earnings target of $57.50 billion, the Secretary said that, accordingly, this year's target has been increased by $6 billion. At the function, Commerce Advisor Sheikh Bashiruddin has said traders will be granted permission for onion imports to increase supply in the local market. The advisor also said in this regard, efforts to reduce customs duties are ongoing. The Commerce Secretary also said that discussions are ongoing regarding the price of soybean oil as its price has not fallen in the international market. Finance Advisor Salahuddin Ahmed said the economic growth will increase 3.97 to 5.7% after this fiscal year. The advisor expressed the hope at a press conference marking 1 year of the interim government at the Finance Ministry in Dhaka today. Officials concerned were present at the function. Finance advisor said that the economy of the country has turned around from the verge of collapse. He also said that although the government has been able to solve many issues related to the country's economy, this interim government can't solve everything. The advisor, a former governor of the central bank, said no country in the world has seen the banking sector plundered in the way it was done during the fallen Awami League regime. He mentioned that the interim government has taken many steps to rebuild the banking sector of the country. The advisor also said that the Annual Development Program ADP and budget for the 2025-26 fiscal year have been prepared in a pragmatic way, leaving out unnecessary projects. The acting chairman of BNP Tariq Rahman said that for the sake of their own existence, a technology-based youth force must be developed. If the youth community goes wrong way, it may hinder the country's development. He said this while virtually joining a discussion titled The Aspirations of the Youth Society and BSP's Plan for Future Bangladesh, held on the occasion of International Youth Day at the China Friendship Conference Center in Dhaka today. The president of the Bangladesh Shechashebok National Dal, S.M. Jilani, presided over a speech by the Secretary General of BNP, Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, and Dr. Mahdi Amin, advisor to the acting chairman of BNP. The chief coordinator of the Ganoshanghati Andolon, Junaid Saki, the chairman of the Nationalist Democratic Movement, Bobby Hajjaj, among others, were spoke on the occasion. The acting chairman of the BNP said that spontaneous support from the people is needed for the implementation of the plan for improving the quality of life. Tariq Rahman has called for the opportunity to build the country by voting for the Dhaneshish in the upcoming elections. During this monsoon season, the prevalence of dengue and Aedes mosquito-borne disease has increased across the country. This year, the number of dengue cases has exceeded 24,000. Cases of chikungunya and Zika virus infections are also on the rise. While dengue testing is relatively accessible, tests for chikungunya and Zika virus are not widely available. To make this test more accessible to everyone, the National Institute of Laboratory Medicine and Referral Center in Agargaon, Dhaka has introduced accurate and reliable testing for these viruses at low cost. The center offers both PCR lab facilities and rapid tests. A combined PCR test for chikungunya, dengue and Zika viruses costs 3,300 taka, whereas private hospitals charge between 6 to 6,500. On the other hand, an ICT test for chikungunya costs 250 taka and the government fixed price for a dengue test is only 50 taka. Now international news.